Welcome back to part 2. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a steel cotton covered wire and I'm going to wrap it around the base of a funnel. And the reason I'm using a funnel is so that as the tree widens at the top, it allows for the extra foliage to kind of go through the wire. So I'm just wrapping it round. Really go for something that's cotton covered. I apologise, my voice is going. I think I'm coming down with a cold. So really make sure that it's cotton covered, just protect fingers and things like that, and it also gives the wire more longevity. And then once you've twisted it, you want to place it in the base of your seagull. So I've got a convenient little circle in the polystyrene ball that I'm using, which allows me to use that as a bit of a guide. So initially I've just placed it in the hole, and then I'm just going to cover that in super glue, that piece of wire. And it's a thick gauge steel wire. You don't want to go too thick, so it's probably worth just getting some tester wires. Quite often with certain companies, they'll send you some samples and you can see which ones work best, and then you can go with whichever one you think in terms of how it bends, because you want to have that rigidity there. You don't want it to be too soft, because then it's going to get bent when it goes in the loft and it's not going to stay in place when it's on the tree. So you want it to be relatively firm without being too firm. So once it's in place and I've inserted it into the bottom of the seagull with the super glue, I'm going to take some more of my Shetland white core wool and I'm going to take my medium twisted needles and I'm just going to felt the core wool all over the base of our polystyrene ball. And I'm going to integrate it in with what we've already wrapped initially in the first episode when we made the head/neck for our seagull. So really try and get a nice even felt. Don't worry about getting it nice and neat at the moment. We just want to get that wool on there so we've got that kind of fullness to the seagull body. So I'm just really felting it in and making sure that that one piece is integrated in between the polystyrene ball and also the neck/head of our seagull. And really check for any air pockets, because as you can see here, I've got quite a few air pockets. So I'm just speeding things up for you now, just because you know what you're doing. Just be really cautious when you're stabbing your needles into the polystyrene ball as well, that you don't bend them as you take them out, because you'll definitely break your needles. So go really careful with that as you felt them into the ball. But just take your time and build up those layers. So I'm just wrapping it around. I'm not going for lots of layers here, but I'm just going for enough just to give a bit more volume to the body and integrate that head and neck in with the lower body and the legs as well. So eventually you should have something that looks like this. So it's all looking nice and cohesive. And just again, make sure you get rid of any of those air pockets, really felt them out. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit more wool and I'm just going to cover the base of where we've added our wire. So go really careful with this, because this is where you could really easily break your needles, because the wire is very thick and it would be so easy to stab into the wire and then break your needles. And whilst they're not super expensive, they are relatively expensive, and if you can avoid breaking them, it's ideal. And the other thing is also you don't want to end up breaking your needles inside the sculpture, because if you're planning on selling them, then you're going to have to start all over again, because it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to remove those needles. So just be really cautious when you're stabbing around the wire that's going to allow your seagull to sit on top of the Christmas tree like a beautiful seagull fairy thing. So the next thing I'm going to do, sorry I can't talk, the next thing I'm going to do is take another piece of that white Shetland core wool. I'm going to place it horizontally across the seagull's body, and I'm just going to felt it around the top side of the body, so about 3/4 of the polystyrene ball and then about half of the neck, just to really build up that volume between the head and the body, so you haven't got any obvious joins there. It looks all nicely blended in together. So once you've felted it all down, it should look something like this. So it slopes down naturally, as opposed to having a really sharp difference between the bottom of the neck and then where the body starts. It all just blends in beautifully. So as you can see, I've got a bit of softness there. So really just keep going until you get rid of that softness. And then what you want to do is you want to take some more Shetland core wool and you want to take your needle felting brush mat and really cover that brush mat so that you've got about 1 inch of wool going over all of the sides. Then we're going to take our 7 needle multi-tool like I've got here with some triangular fine needles inside, And I'm just going to stab this down until everything's integrated into one piece. And then once it has been, I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it over the body and the neck of my seagull. And I'm going to place it lengthways vertically. I don't want it to cover the entire body, but I do want it to go around all of the neck area because I want to blend everything together. So I'm just going to hold that down into place. So it's going about halfway down the body at the moment, and then it's covering that neck and head. I'm going to go back to my, fine twisted needles now, and I'm going to felt that down. And this is going to be that top coat that we're going to be adding all of our seagull's features onto. So that's why I'm using my fine needles here, because I want a nice, neat felt, very, very fine. So it can take a bit longer to do this, but it's worth it for the lovely, smooth results that you're going to get at the end of the project. So once again, just take your time with this, go cautious with the polystyrene ball and any wires that you might come into contact with your needles. And those fine needles are a lot more delicate than the medium needles as well, so they'll be a lot more easy to break. So just go really careful with those. And then just keep felting down until everything is felted into the body of your seagull. I like to work from the inside out when I'm felting as well, so I'm starting about an inch inwards and then felting outwards to the peripherals where the piece finishes, where that material sort of ends, if you like. So it really felts it down, but at the same time you're pulling it taut, so you're saving yourself felting loads and loads in the long term. If you left it really loose, you'd be there a lot longer trying to felt everything down. So it's a good way of getting everything nice and tight and kind of maximizing your efficiency, if you like, when you're felting things down. As I'm talking to you, I can hear my voice going more and more. So I've had it brewing all day. I was talking to someone this afternoon and I could feel it going. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna end up coming down with something. So I've come home, I've had a glass of red wine because that solves all problems, and now I'm talking to you guys. So arguably the red wine's probably not helping, but I like to think that it is. It's like a placebo, it's fine. So I'm just speeding things up for you now, and then really again pull the back of where the piece is going around the head and neck of your seagull nice and tight, once again, so you don't have to spend hours and hours felting out any looseness. So the tighter you get it, the more time you're going to save for yourself in the long run. And then I'm just going to again work around this piece, going back and forth with my needles. I'm not going too deeply penetrating into the polystyrene ball, but I am going quite deeply with the neck because that's entirely wool, and then you've got that piece of wire just in the middle there that we added at the beginning of the first part of the tutorial. So I'm just tearing away any excess. Don't be afraid to do that. If you feel like you've got too much wool, just tear that excess away. If you tear it from a distance and don't pull it really hard, pull it very loosely and lightly, you'll find that it comes away very easily, any excess. So I'm just going to pull away some excess on the top of the head as well, because I don't want to have any bulky ugliness felted down. So I'm just getting rid of that excess. So I've probably got about ½ an inch there of excess going over the top of my head, and then I'm just using my fine twisted needles again just to felt that into the top of my seagull's head. So the length of the neck at the moment is probably about 5 inches to 6 inches, but don't worry if it is a little bit too long, because when we come to add the Christmas hat later on, that's going to take away some of that height. So don't panic if your neck is too long on your seagull. So I'm just going to felt down those loose bits of fluff on the top of my seagull head. And again, it's quite time consuming, but it's worth it to get a lovely, smooth, rounded finish. And really make sure that you get rid of any of those air pockets and any looseness. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap a little bit of the top of the leg, just to, again, bring that into the rest of the seagull's body, really integrate it into the piece. So I'm just felting down the first piece into the bottom of the polystyrene ball to anchor it down into place. And then I'm just going to fold it round so that it comes down about 1/4 of the way, or maybe about 1/3 of the way down our seagull's leg. It doesn't need to go down too far. Arguably I could have stayed up a bit higher, but I've gone down to this length, but you could make it shorter if you wanted to. It could be a bit tricky with the wire in the way, so just go careful of that. But you know, like I always say, take your time. And then once you reach the end, just felt those sort of loose ends down. And then just use your needles to felt around that leg to get everything nice and firm. I'm just going to speed it up for you again. Once again, go careful with your needles because obviously you've got lots of wire inside that leg, so just go careful with that. But get it nice and tight. And then I'm just going to get a second piece and do exactly the same thing again, just to add a bit more thickness there to that additional piece of white that we're adding to the bottom of the leg. I'm not sure if this is something that seagulls have, but this is what my seagulls have, so I quite like it. I think it just kind of makes the piece look a little bit more all as one and brings everything together. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I just like the way it gives that finished look. So you should have something that looks like this. And there you go, that is the next stage of our seagull complete. So I will see you tomorrow now with the last stage, which is when we're going to be adding his festive Christmas hat. We're going to be adding his beak, his eyes, his wings, and he is going to look absolutely kitsch awesome. He's going to be amazing, and he's going to look brilliant on top of your Christmas tree, or if you're making it as a gift for someone, on top of their Christmas tree. So I will see you tomorrow for part 3. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it, and if you haven't had a chance yet, please subscribe to my channel as well, because I'm posting 3 times a week at the moment on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays with loads of needle felting hints and tips. But have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!